The UFC just closed a $7.7 billion 7-year plan with Paramount Plus to stream all 30 UFC Fight Night events and 13 UFC pay-per-view events. What does this mean? Number one, and the biggest rumor going around, is that the pay-per-view era is now over. That is not true. Pay-per-views will still be around, for sure. This will reduce pay-per-views so much on a different level, but it definitely won't get rid of them. I think that there still will be an incentive for the big fights to happen on pay-per-view status kind of money for the fighters. With stuff like pay-per-view points being kind of obsolete for champions now, because chances are they're not going to get them because there's not going to be that many pay-per-views per year. There will still be pay-per-views, but that's not on the scale that we have now. Every other Saturday there's a pay-per-view event. That is changing, and that's good. They're losing more money they're basically only making money from bars buying pay-per-views. Because if you are at home, why would you pay when you could go on a website and watch it for free? The money difference is staggering. It's almost a $900 difference versus an $11 a month subscription to Paramount versus $80 twice a month, which comes out to around $1,100 maybe versus $122. So almost a $900 difference in the price. How did this happen? Skydance, which was already an entertainment company, just did a huge deal with Paramount, and they made a merger. The merger, I think, gave them a lot more financial liberties to invest in a new growing market like the UFC that's already taking off, especially with TKO specifically taking off into more sectors like boxing. And, they're already handling WWE stuff, UFC, but they're expanding rapidly. And they signed a 7-year contract. So $7.7 billion for 7 years. That's about $1.1 billion per year. The average champion salary per pay-per-view is what, $2 million? As you keep fighting, maybe $3 million. And then there's always the big ones, but you won't even scratch that $1.1 billion a year cutoff mark for paying all these fighters. What they do deserve to be paid, and when you look at stuff like Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, the max that John Jones was offered was around $30 million. $30 million is a lot of money. $30 million times 10 is only $300 million. There's only 13 UFC fights, pay-per-views per year. That means that they could do that and not even come close to spending half of the money. So that's great. I mean, it's great they're going to have a lot more money to pay for fighters and make the services better. There's also a lot of things coming out now that this huge deal has come out. That stuff like Hunter planning to make the UFC Apex into an actual stadium and have a lot more fans come by, hopefully fixing ticket prices. One thing that was mentioned on the Ariel Helwani show, which is actually really smart and really astute observation, is how is ESPN going to react to this? Are they going to continue to cover stuff? Like NHL, they stopped covering it once it was stopped being offered by ESPN. I'm happy about that. I think ESPN kind of has a weird monopoly on sports. And I like seeing sports go different places. I don't think I have anything against ESPN because I don't, but I think it makes sense. One thing that I want to emphasize is that there will still be pay-per-views. Pay-per-views aren't going anywhere. They're probably going to be used a lot more in the TKO boxing at the start, because those big names, champions like Terrence Crawford and Canelo, they want pay-per-view points. They want money from ticket sales. They want money from pay-per-view sales. You can't really offer them a certain amount of money when they know that there's going to be more bought, especially from bars and regular people. I feel like regular old heads are more likely to buy one-off fight than a random UFC event that they know nothing about. But every old head knows people like Terrence Crawford, Canelo, Errol Spence Jr., Manny Pacquiao recently. So many people are going to want to watch those fights. So I feel like if anything's going to be staying at the pay-per-view model, it'll be those, just because there's so much more name recognition. Now, obviously, new talent's coming into play. New people are popping up every day, beating champions. Not really, but kind of. And that might change things a little bit. UFC fans might not be boxing fans, and that's fine because of the system of boxing. That's That's the promoter's fault, but I digress. So much better for the fan to enjoy the pay-per-views, and I think it's a win-win for everyone. Number 2, I sold all my TKO stock, and then it jumped up once they announced this deal. Thank you, Dana White. Put the photo of him smoking a cigar. Now, kill him. Bleep that, bleep that. The bonuses are going up. That's what Dana White said. Bonuses are going up. I doubt, they might be doubled. Probably not tripled, but the bonuses are going up, which is going to make people put on the show. Now, I don't know if that means win bonuses. They might change contracts because it's 10 to show up, 10 to win on a regular scale. Maybe it'll be 10 to show up, 12 to win. That's what I mean by bonuses in that fact, the show up pay. Or it might literally be Fight of the Night bonuses, knockout bonuses, and maybe there will be some new bonuses popping up. Most creative finish bonus, something like that, which would be cool. I mean, encouraging differentiation in the actual event itself, like go for a submission there's only been 3 of in the UFC, or never been in the UFC, stuff like that you go, yeah, that would be dope to see. I want to see someone's career get ruined by them getting put in a scorpion on Saturday night while I'm drinking Bud Light with the boys. You gotta say Bud Light because they're sponsored by the UFC and they'll strike down anyone that doesn't say. But if you we're talking about that Bush Leasy. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. Dana White's bald.